Well, good morning. I'm going to do a quick little talk about Comica, the BoomX-U2 lavalier microphone, wireless. I decided to buy this one because my other Comica was having some trouble, and I wanted to try a different brand. Also, this one uses the UHF frequency, and I think I like it better. I had another one prior, and it was just a mono. It wasn't anything else, and it was just a single channel receiver and transmitter. And you can see they're considerably different in size, and these ones here also include a built-in microphone and antenna. I do kind of like the metal antennas better, only because it seems they'd be a little bit stronger, but you still have to be careful not to snag them on anything. These old ones here, the receiver also has a hot shoe, and on the Comica, and the quality of this one wasn't very hot either. And on the Comica, it has a little clip for hooking to your shirt, but it's also the same width as a hot shoe, so it can just slip into a hot shoe and just rest. So the receiver on the Comica again has the clip, has two antennas, one antenna for each channel. And even if you buy this one where there's only one transmitter and one receiver, I think I said this was a transmitter, it's not, it's a receiver. This one, only one antenna is going to work with it, so you can leave one folded. This one, the transmitters do not have any digital screen on it. You just turn it on, it has lights on it to let you know that it's working. And you can power them. Has an IR button for syncing them together if you're doing stereo. And if you change the channel. On-off button has high pass, low pass, and mute. And so that's basically it. They're really small, much smaller than I had expected. So again, smaller, lighter weight, has a built-in battery, so you don't have to worry about swapping out batteries, worrying about when your batteries are going to die. It has a battery meter, so you can see that. It has the audio meter, so you can see that, to make sure everything's working before you start your video. So right now, I'm just recording and using the audio off my iPhone. So with this, it can be used with a smartphone. Regular smartphones only need to have one cable to punch in. So the cable has a gray end on it, but in order to remember which one goes into the phone and which one goes into the receiver, the gray piece has a very small little icon built on it. You can't see it here. Very small gray icon that looks like a small phone. So this one's for the phone, for the smartphone, and this is the end that plugs into the phone. But with the iPhone, as you all know, the iPhones now have the Thunderbolt jacks, and so you have to have a dongle, which is the one thing I don't like. But you can snap it on and it works. Make sure you have one, a spare, and keep it in your case, in the case that Comica provides. So it's case with all your stuff. You can put all your wires, your microphones, all that stuff in here and zip it up. And in here you put your receiver and transmitters. And well protected, so if you drop kick it across the room, you're not going to damage them. And very stout carrying case, which is brilliant. I like it. So now it comes to the quality of audio. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hook this thing up and we're going to see what it sounds like. Okay, so now I have the microphone hooked up, little lav mic hooked up here, and the transmitter. So the transmitter picks up when I'm talking, so I can see that it's working, which is the bottom blue light. Top blue light just says it's on. And if I hit the on-off switch real quick, puts it into that low-pass filter to help filter noise. That works, and I prefer not to have that on, so I just do that. I don't, at this distance, I don't need the antenna deployed. I'd prefer not to do that. My cases, I'm probably not ever going to need to deploy the antenna because most of my stuff is done well within the range of this without that. The quality of the microphone that's built in is just as good as the little lav mic. And this has got a little clip to help keep this in place. Because on my other Comica, it didn't have a clip and the plug didn't stay plugged in well. Sometimes it would pop out. And if it popped out, you lost your audio and you don't know it because you couldn't tell by looking at your little transmitter if you were transmitting. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get something different. And also to see if the quality was any better. And I think the quality is still about the same for the microphone, but this is much smaller, easier to get around. The one that I did buy was one for using a smartphone, and it actually has a holder on the receiver to hold the camera on a tripod. And then I put an adapter on top of that to have a hot shoe. And now I have something to hold the camera on the tripod steadily and also a hot shoe for the receiver. And I'm quite pleased. And I don't have to, if I get up and walk away or turn my back and still need to talk, this will keep transmitting and you won't get any weird loss of signal. And so the other nice thing is there's long, it's a long transmit time. They said it's like 6 hours worth of constant use. And I can tell you that I've done a 1 2-hour-long Zoom session and one 1 hour and 45-minute Zoom session using this setup here without any issue. In the last Zoom session, we actually used both the transmitters and transmitted in stereo, or right channel, left channel, and that worked out really well. And we got up and moved around, and we were able to still talk, and that's very important, especially for a Zoom session in a classroom where you need to get up and move around so you don't lose your audio feed and sound, and four people have to struggle to hear you. That's very important. And so that's about where we're at with the Comica BoomX U2. So instead of just the BoomX, I bought the one with the 2 transmitters because we might need it for interviews and things like that. I do recommend it. It's a good microphone setup. If you, it's like with any other, if you do deploy the antennas, be careful that you're doing so they cannot get snagged, because this to me doesn't feel super strong. And the one other thing that I would hope that Comica would do is to set this up so Mac users or iPhone users don't have to use a dongle anymore, so that one of their cables from the receiver to the phone is for the iPhone with the new Thunderbolt or Lightning port, whatever you want to call it. That would be ideal. Dongles can get lost. If you lose a dongle and you're using your iPhone and you lose it, you're up a creek, because you can't use your phone then. You can't use this with your phone. So their other cable is for camera, which just plugs right in the camera. No problem. I think that's about it. I think the quality is here. Helps keep reverberation in the room down, and overall a good product. It is a little pricey, but you get much better quality. And I've tried some of the cheaper stuff. Like this, the cheaper stuff. It works, but it's not so good. And I've even tried different microphones on it too, and it didn't really help. And I've tried different microphones on my other Comica, and the Comica microphone, even though it looks like a cheap little microphone, is actually pretty good. So there's my input on Comica BoomX U2. And you all have a good day.